So second scenario was middle manager presents differently to upper compared to lower. So they're a lot more aggressive, defensive, belittling, and hostile. Now you've tried to address the person directly, but you've been met with denial, aggression, and a victim response. So that's number 2. We're not going to get through the whole thing, but just a couple of minutes, I thought I'd talk about a couple of techniques. So again, you'd think about what makes this tricky. What choices do you have? Again, am I going to go straight to them? Am I going to go to the manager? Am I going to go to HR? That's all the options I think you've got, or do nothing. And then if you're going to start this conversation, it is a hard one. When someone sent this to me, I went, holy moly, that is tricky. How would I start this? And do you know what I'd do? I'd do a POO at the start. Now, I don't know if you know what POO is. It's it's not what you're thinking. It's a very helpful technique. And what it stands for is pacing out objections. In fact, let me see if I can get it up here for you. Where is it? So pacing out objections. So here it is here. Let me go to that one. Pacing out objections or putting it on the table. So what does that look like? It means I will name those sort of unhelpful behaviors right at the start. And what that helps me to do is frame the conversation, and it helps me to, so I want to name it without shaming. I also want to name it so it's harder for them to actually do that behavior. Does that make sense? So let me have a go at it and see what you think. So, because you've already had a conversation, they got into denial and defensiveness and all that sort of stuff. So this is how I would start this one. Oh, thanks for joining me. I know last time when we spoke, it was quite challenging. And I'm wondering how we can have the conversation today so we both try really hard to hear and understand each other and try hard not to fall into those traps of denial, blame, and be able to manage our emotions in the conversation. What do you think? How do you think we can do it differently this time? How do you feel? What's your reactions to that start? What did you like? What would you add? Because then I'd start with what the issue is. Or what was the thing that sort of stood out for you from that little seeking their buy-in? Thanks, Vanessa. Let's skip the BS behaviors. I'm trying to say it in a nice way there, Michelle. Wang, that's it. Okay. You asked them for their point of view. Lisa, we need to keep working on this. Well, yeah, we need to keep this constructive. How do we keep this conversation constructive? Because last time it went a bit off track. That's what I'm saying. And if you know that person's likely to get defensive, escalate, go into denial, I want to put that on the table at the start because it makes it harder for them to do it. And then if they do it, what do we do?